Good evening, and thank you again for clicking on my channel. Um, so I already finished Scream 2022. It should have just been Scream 5. I don't know. I guess during this time everybody was trying to be like Halloween and make it all about um a direct sequel from the original. And so instead of just calling it Halloween 2018 or Halloween, I don't know, something original rather than just calling it Halloween again. Because then you had Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. Um, it's like, where's the originality, you know? Anyway, so we got Scream 2022, aka Scream 5. Um, this was some time ago. Was it 2011? Was it 20? No, I'm sorry, like 10, 11. Is that 11 years ago? 11 years after Scream 4? Um, yeah, right? Or 12 years. Yeah, 12 years. Can't do math. Anyway, so this is 25 years after the original Woodsboro killings. A new Ghostface begins targeting teens connected to the town's dark past, drawing the final three survivors of the first attack back for once more. Um, so you do have original castmates as David Arquette, Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, and then you got some newbies, which is Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega. You got Jack Quaid, Mickey Madison, Dylan Minnette, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding. Um, eh, do we want to mention anybody else? I don't know if they're really important enough, but so this opens up like any other um, Scream with a call, and Jenna Ortega's character, um, Tara, the landline keeps calling, and she's like, "Who?" She's like, "I don't know who keeps calling the landline." And so like she ignored it, then it kept calling again, and she answers it, and it's Ghostface on the line, and he's pretending to be his mother's friend from group, um, which we never do, even in the Scream 6, we never get to see who their mother is. We don't know what she looks like. So if there ever is, which I doubt there will be now since they fired Melissa Barrera, what Sam and Tara's mother looks like, um, if she will ever appear in anything, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know the answers to these questions. Anyway, so their last name is Carpenter, Sam and Tara Carpenter. Um, and like I said, she answers the phone. It's Ghostface, and of course he wants to ask the usual questions Ghostface would ask. Like, do you know what happens in the Stab movies? And she's like, I never watched them. I like elevated horror. And he's like, "What's that? What is elevated horror?" Something that you really had to think about, something a little more complex, something that's just not just cutting throats and nothing to really think about. Um, like Babadook and Hereditary and It Follows. Um, so we still asked the questions because apparently the friend of hers was about to be attacked, and he asked the questions. She got the right, except for the last one, because there were two killers in the original Scream, aka Stab film. And then he breaks in, and you think she dies because he stabs her like 7 times. And I would have been like, whoa, that was going to be like really almost like mirroring the first Scream, because Drew Barrymore died um, and in that movie. And then I'm like, oh, wow, Jenna Ortega is going to die too. And I'm like, oh. But then, like, when you see the trailer, you're like, oh, she can't die because she's like in a wheelchair. I feel like that kind of gave it away. She doesn't die. So I knew myself, she doesn't die. At least not right off anyway. Well, she doesn't die anyway. So, um, then the title card comes up, and then it cuts to the sister, Sam. Sam is like on a break. She works at a bowling alley, and she's with her boyfriend. Um, uh, 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 um, name is drawing a blank. Richie. Richie's the boyfriend, and you think like, oh, he can't be the killer because he's in a whole nother town, right? But typically in most films, except for Scream 3, there are typically two killers. So she gets a call, she ignores it, then it's a text, and one of like an old friend slash somebody who she used to babysit saying like, hey, Tara was attacked, you should come. Like she was stabbed multiple times and she wouldn't know by who, what happened, all that. It was somebody in a ghost face mask, and yeah. Um so she comes, she sees her sister, and she's like crying and everything, but you get to see like the twins, which is Chad and Mindy Meeks, of course, fraternal twins. They are played by Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding. Dylan Minette is Wes Hicks, as another person that she babysat before. And then Amber is there, which is a friend of Tara's, which she always looked very suspicious to me. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm not a big Mickey Madison or Mikey Madison, however you want to say her name. Mikey Madison, I don't know. I don't think she's like phenomenal of an actress, but that's just me. I'm just being honest. So then they want to figure out like who do they go to? Who do they talk to? Like, where can we get some answers from? So then they end up going. When I say they, um, uh, uh, um, Sam and Richie go to um, Dewey's place and ask him questions. Um, he and Gail obviously split up. He is on the sauce. He is no longer part of the squad. He retired. So he's an ex cop, ex sheriff, whatever. And yeah. So he gave them answers and asked questions saying like, how long have you known Richie? Does he know anything about your past? Um, does he know that your father is or was a a killer? Because he's asking all these questions because typically it's the love interest that happens to be the killer, and he nailed it right off right there. Um, um, then they had like this friend group meeting, interrogating them, trying to figure out like who would be next. Because typically in this, because they want to call it a requel, that each friend has someone in common that was um part of the old school gang. Like, which he didn't last very long. Cal Galliner, who played Vince, I think he was in there maybe like 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most. He was um somehow related to Stu Macher. Um, the twins, they're related to um their uncle, who also died in Scream 2. Um, Wes Hicks is the son of Judy Hicks. Then they obviously died in this movie. The other two, like Amber and um, Richie, aren't related to anybody, but they wanted to create a movie because they're so intrigued by these stab movies and wanted to create a movie of their own because apparently fans just don't appreciate these types of movies. So they're the killers, if you don't already know. I gotta sneeze. Bless me. But you do have the OGs coming back for like a little bit. I thought they were pretty, in my opinion, better used than, let's say, like the Ghostbusters were better used, or the OGs from Jurassic Park. I thought they um, um, in Scream. I thought they were better using those people in Jurassic World. Um, I can think of others, but I think you get. I think you get the point. You get the point. But poor Dewey, he got a brutal death scene. He died pretty brutally in the hospital. Um, do I think this was a great Scream film. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. Like, I don't know. I think in all, if I'm if I'm being completely honest with you people, I haven't like seen a really bad Scream film, but I think Scream 3 so far, although Scream 6 is not is probably my least favorite. Um and then it would probably be Scream 3 and then Scream 5 of those are my lower quality Scream films. Um but um it, they had like a little tribute to Wes, even though they was directing it towards Wes Hicks. But we all know that was their little tribute to Wes Craven. Um, because Scream 4 was the last film that he did before he passed away, and uh, I wish there was more chase scenes and a better like motive of like why are you doing this? Like what made you do this? What made you kill all these people? Um, but anyway, it was just fine. I thought the opening sequence was better than 4 and 3, and well, 4 and 2. Three's opening wasn't bad. Um, but yeah, I'd probably say Scream 5 was in comparison to the original Scream. But it was fine. Overall, like let's see, what would I give it? Um, I'd probably say like a 6.5, 6.5 out of 10. So yeah, it was fine. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. Um, but yeah, how did you guys feel about Scream 5 or whatever you want to call it? How did you like it? Did you dislike it? And please leave your comments down below. Let me know how you think about it. How do you rank the Scream films? And how do you rank the Ghostface killers from best to worst? Um, and that might be another video on its own for me. Once I finish Scream 6, which I'm about to start. And if I don't do a video again, I'll probably do it tomorrow morning before work. But I think that's it for this video. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys have a great night. And see you next time. All right, thanks. Bye.